Good afternoon. Welcome to Option Center. This is going to be a take two. I didn't have any volume from the mic. So here we go. I wanted to talk about SPY, QQQ, and VIX. And then most of all, I want to start the theme, a new theme. And that's where as the market gets to its targets, and whatever that may be, I'm going to show you a couple of levels here and explain how I got them. And then I think the money flow, the capital is going to start going into Chinese stocks. So we're looking at a Chinese bull market and an American bear market. Okay. So roles, I feel, are going to reverse. And we'll stick with that theme. We have we're going to go through BIDU today, so make sure you stick around for that. Very important, the alerts. It's breaking out. It's a huge move, I think, is coming, and we are already in, so we want to catch that. Okay, so if you're new here, go down to that bottom right hand corner, hit that Option Center logo, and subscribe. So thanks for the likes, thanks for all of the support that you have given this channel. I know that we've been looking for a top over and over and over and over, and I really want to emphasize that I trade with hedges. So we had NVIDIA coming up. NVIDIA exploded, and we had SMH short-term calls. We had the QQQ calls. We had hedges, and they worked brilliantly. So now we are full back reversal to the downside. I don't think this move's going to last. And we also have some beautiful calls on BIDU as well. So here we go. We have SPY. You can play around with this wedge. I do have this wedge at the tip here. You can play around with it, and you can use on the higher time frames, you'll just see that that's a wick. So if you just use the wicks, then we're right at that, really. But we're the price action's getting above it. Unless it reverses off of here, then we'll just leave that at that. This should be at the top of that point here. So we'll put that back, and then that gives us around a target of 509 to 510 area. And you'll see that the moves here. Let me go to another board. That these moves here have, first of all, here is my new count. So we have a 3-wave move up for 1, 3-wave down for 2, 3-wave for 3, 3 for 4, and then 5 is an A, B, C move to the upside. So we're reaching another target here, and I'm going to explain these targets. So this 100% move, it's in purple, would be off of this A to C relationship. So we exceeded that 100%. And the next move up there would be the 127.2. That would be the second target using this type of relationship. Okay. So now the target that we're at right now, that's a relationship from the top of wave 3, the correction into wave 4. And so you have your retracements, the extensions at 127.2, which we're at that target now as we speak. So this is an objective short to me. I may actually add on some puts in just a couple minutes. We added plenty of puts on today, so we'll see. And then the second target for an extension like that would be the 162% extension up here at 511. I don't think the 511 is going to work. The reason is that if this wave count is correct, being this a 1, 2, wave 3, the relationship of wave 3, this is 100%. This is wave 3, the length. And if you measure it from the bottom of wave 4, that's your 100% move that it cannot exceed, or else wave 3 becomes the smallest. Okay, so that break rules there in the Elliott wave world. So I think we're going to stick around in this area to where we're going to get some sort of top here. Once again, we're looking for another top, and we did find the last top. It just wasn't the top. And now we're looking at the time relationship. So between today and tomorrow, we have this time relationship zone here. Okay. So that's a beautiful time and price setup. Setups don't always work, doesn't guarantee, but this is a wonderful setup that we have here. All right, so that's all I want to show there. We'll go QQQ. And while we're on the Elliott Wave page, we're surpassing that 89% retracement from this whole move here to the downside. And so it looks like we're going to start testing the top here. Could possibly be a double top. It could reverse anytime. We can make a new high. We'll see, because it's just a straight line. We have an ABC correction here, and now we're getting, in my opinion, our last move here, either just a retracement. I can count this. We can put this in as a 1, 2, and then a wave 3 down here, wave 4, and wave 5. So we can count this as an impulse wave. It looks messy. It doesn't, it looks more corrective, I will say. So this can turn around at any time, but if we start getting new highs here, then that could be marking a, in this, you'd count this as an impulse wave, and you can't see anything in there. It's straight up, but I would consider that probably a wave 4. Okay. Probably a wave 4, and then we're moving on to wave 5. So we might, if we get above this high here, it has to hold. Start breaking back underneath it, it'll be some sort of fake break and goodbye. Okay, so enough said on that. We're at the options expected move. Could get our reversal from right here, folks. Not sure. We'll see. We have some island gaps here. Looking really bullish. We're back above the bottom of that wedge. So everything says to the bulls there's nothing, bearish about this situation at the time being. All right, let's go to VIX. And the VIX, we talked about in yesterday's video. We had a lot to say, so make sure you check out that video. This is complimentary to it. Now, check out the VIX. We have that high. We're making higher lows each and every time. This is a beautiful thing. This very bullish setup here. It's going to look very similar to BIDU. So that's not good for the market. And we're actually getting some movement here. And if go to this other board, this is what I talked about yesterday. And I talked about this all through, that this is a volatility box, and price broke out of it and is now back testing this box again. I know that this is a back test as well. I know it's inside, but it's a very volatile instrument here. So we have an island gap here. I think we're looking to fill that island gap. And if we hold this level at 14, about 14.15, you hold this level, and the market's going to reverse. The VIX is set up for a nice move here. This is a great setup for the VIX. Now, if it starts breaking down and this low is broken, then we're going to go for this gap. It doesn't have to close this gap. This gap can be closed well into the future. But I don't think this gap's going to close. If we do, that's us, grinding up to 510 on the SPY and much further. So right here, it's telling me we're back testing and we're holding this ground, and we should see some sort of move into tomorrow. Maybe even a gap back up over this gap here. That's possible. Anything's possible. So if you are long on the market, just make sure you have put protection. That's all. We're not looking to be right. We're looking to trade. Okay. BIDU, very important. Let's go to BIDU. BABA already started breaking out, so that's what triggered me getting into BIDU yesterday. And so let's go on the daily time frame first, so we can get a good view of this, and I'll talk you through how I got these levels. So after this massive bear market move, we got a bottom here, and I thought that bottom was valid, and it just took a lot of time. So I stopped watching these Chinese stocks, just look pitiful. But we got down to the 62% retracement. So we have an impulse move, a 62% retracement, which on a higher time frame, on this daily time frame, that's a 1-2 setup. Okay, and so we have targets that are going to be much, much higher. As a matter of fact, I'll just give you an example. I'm not going to show that on the Elliott wave page. I'm going to show a little bit lower time frame, but you would take your extension and do the full length of wave 1 down to the bottom of wave 2. And we're looking for wave 3 to likely get up to this 238, 162 extension. That's a very typical spot. Now it can move further. We have some nice, I'll have to extend these resistance and supports out over here, and there's one there around that 230 mark, and possibly maybe price even goes further. So we've seen BIDU run before. My God, we've seen it run relentlessly for weeks. So this is a wedge. We're starting to break out from that wedge. Beautiful candle. We're getting above the 50-day moving average. Probably going to start testing that 100 moving average soon here. So, and this is our second setup here on the micro, or on a lesser degree. We have a 1-2 setup here, and that's what I'm going to show you. Let's go down to 65 first, so I can give you a visual of a traditional technical analysis. And so this is our higher low here on the daily time frame right here. Now we got an impulse wave here, a pullback for another higher low on the lower degree, and this looked somewhat like a bear flag, so we had to really be careful with that. But to me, it was coiling up just like the VIX. All right, and so there's two ways that you can think about this in the future as the breakout starts to happen, and I'll show you. So that's a downtrend line it's breaking out of, and it's also breaking out of this supposedly bear flag, which it is no longer. So I can take that out. Now, going to the Elliott wave picture, what I have here is the 62% retracement from the low to high of wave 1. We had a 62% retracement. That's a 1-2 setup. All right. So on that daily time frame, we have a 1-2 setup, a 1-2 setup on the 65 minute. And now this one, this I think is going to be a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, and then lower degree 1-2s, really setting up a massive move up here. And but the alternative to that would be that this is a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we pull back to the 62% retracement. So that would be a leading diagonal, a pullback for wave 2. I don't think that's the case, but what we have to keep in mind, in other words, is if this is a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2, is as this progresses, this move progresses to the upside, it should be a pretty violent move and relentless. With these coils, the wave 4s, as we take a break over time, your first pullback should just be some sort of consolidation and a stair step up, another move up, consolidation up to reflect what happened here. So once we start getting our first pullback, further up when we get into resistances, I think those should just be viable pullbacks. So pay attention to that. Right now, we're just testing the highs here, so we're getting a little bit of a pullback there, but this really should just continue over, should gap up tomorrow. This should be kind of a gappy move to where we continue to the upside much further to our targets in those $230 range. Where are we at now? 111. Okay, that's over 100% move that we're trying to give you a warning is happening now. This is a new bull market for China stocks, in my opinion. I think the flows will come out of the US and go into China. So thanks for joining us. If you liked the video, please hit that like button. It's really been helping us. This is a shorter video. We'll continue our research going into tomorrow and see if we start hitting some of those targets in the US indices. Okay. Thanks for joining us here at Option Center. Have a wonderful day. We'll talk to you tomorrow.